Welcome to another tutorial of ProfLearn YouTube channel. In this particular video, we're going to look at questions that made candidates cry in 2020 January paper 1H of IGCSE Edexcel 2020. So we're going to have a candid discussion on how you're supposed to approach different questions whenever questions are asked in that particular exam. So one of the questions that made most of the candidates to cry is this question to do with circle theorem. So candidates were supposed to find the size of this angle BDC. So one of the concepts that you are to remember, angles subtended by the same chord are equal. So for instance, if this angle is 28, is being subtended by this chord that we have here, then it means that also this angle that we have here is going to be 28 because it's subtended by the same chord. Also, you are to remember that a diameter subtends a right angle on the circumference. So this angle that we are having here is going to be 90 degrees. Upon understanding that, we need also to remember that this angle that we have here, 32, is subtended by chord AB. That angle, 32, is subtended by chord AB. Then also AB subtend this angle C that we have at this particular point. So meaning that if this is 32, this angle will be 32. So also, if this is 28, this is going to be 28. But since you have this angle here being 90 degrees and this 32, then it means you can get the entire of this angle, and then you add to that, you subtract from 180 to find this angle that we have here. And that property now will be angle in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And if you do that, you're going to get your answer here being equals to 30 degrees. So circle theorem is an area that you really need to be careful with because that question can be asked. Another area that also was tested and most students cried is conversion of 50 meters per second to kilometer per hour. Some students cried when they saw that particular question because they could not be able to convert that. So something that the candidates were supposed to remember here is that 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters. Then 50 meters per second can be written as 50 meters over 1 second, which is going to be, we need to convert 1 meter to kilometers, which is going to be 1 over 1,000. And if you work it out, you are to get 180 kilometer per hour. Moving further, another question that also made candidates cry, not that one. So let's move to question number 15. We see question number 15. What was it having? I don't understand why it's not moving. So this is a bit misbehaving. Question 15. Yeah, so question 15, students were unable to identify some of this graph. This is a reciprocal graph. This is a cubic graph, but it should be having a negative on the coefficient of x. And this is a reciprocal graph, but should be negative. So the graphs were to be identified as CBE. So candidates were supposed to remember that. Another question also that was quite confusing to some students was this question where they were given area of a rectangle and one side they were supposed to find width. So remember, this is basically SADS. This is SADS. You are to say length times width is equals to area. So our length is 7 plus 1, root 7 plus 1 times W. Divide by the length both sides, you get a SAD. Then you are supposed to rationalize this. So most students got this wrong because they forgot that whenever you want to rationalize, you introduce conjugate. But the conjugate is a sign in front of the square root. So some students, they said they are going to change this sign. This one will be very wrong. So you change the sign in front of the square root. So this is going to be 1 minus root 7, 1 minus root 7 multiplied. And if you work it out, you are going to get 18 minus 18 root 7 divided by minus 6 there. You'll get root 3 3 root 7 minus 3 as the final answer. The trick was, which point are you going to change the sign for the conjugate? This one here. Transformation of function is also another area that made some students really find a challenge on how to work out. So here we are told this is x plus 4, so that meaning this is going to affect the x coordinate only. X coordinate will be affected. So if it's x plus 4 and this was a 4, then it means it's 4 minus 4. You do opposite what the x function is saying. So if it's x plus 4, you're going to take the x coordinate, which is 4 minus 4, and that's going to be 0, 6. And this is going to be 2x. The x coordinate is 4. If it's times 2, then you do the division. So it will be 4 divided by 2. And that's going to be 2, 6. The y coordinate is going to remain the same because the transformation is taking inside the bracket. The curve C is given by this, and then the transformation. So this is plus 4. So if it's plus 4, that means if it's plus 4, we're going to subtract. Anywhere you have x, you are going to subtract. So we're going to have this as, this is how the function is going to look like. You're going to say x minus 4 squared plus 3 into x minus 4 plus 4, then plus 6. So if you expand that, this is exactly what you're going to have, and then you put the like terms together. Well, and also another question that made student cry, it was a question to do with sector given here, and then it was folded to form what? To form a cone. So the first thing that you are to do as a candidate is to remember the volume of a cone is given by a third base area times height. Then you are to use that to find the base area. Once you get the base area, then you are going to say area, because this is a circle, then we're going to say therefore area is pi r squared. So you're going to say pi r squared is equals to 643.53. Then you find r. Yeah, so you say pi r squared is equal to this. You make r the subject, and you're going to get 7.82 there. Then once you have gotten that, you find area of a sector. Yeah. Once you have gotten, sorry, I think I've mixed up here. You work out the area. So yeah, now my pen is active. I can be able to explain this. My pen. Oh. Yeah, my pen is the one that's giving trouble. I could have written. So what we are saying here is that once you have gotten the area, then you find the radius. From the radius, you can now find this length here by using 7.82 and 25. Then you use Pythagoras theorem. You say 25 squared plus 7.82 squared. Then you find the square root. You get the slant length, which is going to be, slant height is going to be 26.2. Then to find the surface area, you say pi RL, then you'll get your answer as the surface area of the curved part of the cone. But now that surface area of the curved part of the cone is going to be the area of this sector that we have at this point here. So that means you can be able to find the angle from there, and the angle is going to be 107. So if you get 107 like that, then this question that we have done here will be questions that made most students smile at the end of the exam room. I'll see you in the next tutorial.